Hi guys, gonna wait for a few people to arrive. It's an impromptu live, literally climbing into bed. As I climbed into bed, my dear friend Christos, who has been keeping his eye on the stealth bombers, etc., sent me a post from Donald Trump's Truth Social. Now, bearing in mind, the only possible thing that could be wrong here is that Donald Trump's Truth Social account has been hacked, but this is Donald Trump's Truth Social post, which he posted literally 2 minutes ago. Donald Trump says, "We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Now, Donald Trump posted that 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, probably. Thank you so much, Christos, for sending that through. I was literally climbing into bed, about to go to sleep. And it looks like Seymour Hersh, the journalist, has been proved right. He claimed and said that he had pretty kind of reliable intel that he was going to do it this weekend. We suggested it, didn't we, that it was a con. I think Nadia was kind of hopeful that it wouldn't be. Let's just have another look at that. How does he, Inez Martin says, how does he think that now this is going to have peace? Now is the time for peace. Hazel Malbon, yes, it's happened. Susan Cooper, it's happened. Oh my God, is this for real? Claire Bear, I'm afraid it is for real. Reese, to quote MeTube, they better hope they low yield nuked it, because if not, shit's about to get spooky. America has just dropped bombs on nuclear sites, which has the knock-on effect of turning them into dirty bombs or nuclear disasters. Every single atomic agency, is it the IEAE, International Atomic Energy Association or Agency? Have you just seen, Judy, in America? Is this being covered in the American media? I'm just pumping over to the Guardian. So in order to take out, I mean, to be honest with you, the papers are being caught on the hoof here. The latest news headline in the Guardian is that the US reportedly moved B-2 bombers to Guam. I posted earlier today, this is a breaking news story. Let me pop that at the top so people kind of recognize that we're not coming with definitive news. I don't know if that'll let me update. Let me just show you. Let me just find a screenshot. Bear with me, literally the information is just breaking now. I do just want to show you this, which I posted earlier, which was, here we go. Bear with me. How are we feeling, guys? How are you feeling in America? Don't watch any mainstream media anymore. Don't blame you, Judy. Let me just pull this up. This is a slide. Sorry, literally, I was in bed, so I was just caught. Oh, hang on, I need to pull up an image. This was intel that came earlier today. There we go. Posted this. Where is the breaking news notification? Britain holds the finger on the trigger. This was a woman called Mariam El-Sayeh, again, an independent kind of news gatherer. 2 US B-2 stealth bomber squadrons deployed at UK sovereign Diego Garcia. Now, this woman, detective work by Christos Andreou, 2 B-2 stealth bombers are at Diego Garcia. The mainstream media, this is the mainstream media, were still reporting as I went to bed that the B-2 stealth bombers were still in wherever the first places they go to, Guam. Did Iran get bombed by the USA just now? Yes. For those of you coming again, I'm just going to reread Donald Trump's post, which is, I subscribe to his Truth Social. Let me just go back on it. Let me just see how long ago this was. So this is now 8 minutes old. This news is 8 minutes old. We have completed our very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites. What's the definition of a successful attack on a nuclear site? If you're going to take the nuclear site out, presumably you have to destroy the nuclear matter, in which case you kick it into the air. They've completed a very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, a full payload, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Guys, when did Iran get bombed by the USA? 8 minutes ago. 8 minutes ago, B-2 stealth bombers were flying out of and leaving Iranian airspace. This has just happened. It's happened so recently, the mainstream media hasn't pulled together its first report. I'm updating The Guardian. Absolutely nothing on the front page of The Guardian. Just going to, unless Donald Trump's Truth Social has been hacked, Trump, here we go, live, BBC, they're on it. US strikes Iran nuclear sites, Trump says. I mean, all we've got really to go on is Trump's Truth Social post. Donald Trump says the US has completed strikes on 3 nuclear sites. The Telegraph is usually quite bellicose about hitting Iran. They'll love this. So let's go to the Telegraph. The Telegraph, what have they got here? Trump, no, they're still holding back. Trump offered to meet Iranian leader but couldn't reach him. US president deploys B-2 stealth bombers as he considers striking Iran. Let's go to Al Jazeera, who might have a response from Iran. Let's see. Israel prepared for long campaign. No, not even breaking news. Al Jazeera, thank you for joining us 6 minutes ago. I mean, this is amazing. This is amazing. And don't you think what's also amazing? I know we shouldn't just be concerned about the news teams, legacy media not being able to pick this up. But it's not as if this was a huge surprise. I mean, I think we, thank you, Reese. I think we have been calling this all week. I know Nadia was very much of the opinion or the hope that he was genuinely biding for time to allow for negotiations, diplomacy, etc. I smelt a rat. I thought it was a double bluff. I thought this is a man who, and then at the point that he got Tulsi, what was her name? Tulsi, whatever her name is. Once he'd managed to get her to correct her narrative, that she said that there was no possibility that Iran had a nuclear weapon, and then suddenly she was whipped into line and suddenly said, absolutely, there is. Could it be a false flag? It's very unlikely that it could be a false flag with Donald Trump posting about it. I just see there someone saying Sky News. I've now got the story. Let's go to Sky News on YouTube. Sky News Live, breaking news.
3 nuclear sites in Iran.
So they're reporting exactly the same content. They're reading from Donald Trump's Truth. So here's the thing. This is where, and I don't know if anyone saw a couple of days ago, the Muslim Brotherhood, which is a non-governmental, I mean, like, for example, the Muslim Brotherhood is an incredibly powerful movement in Egypt. It's kind of the main opposition, if you like, to Sisi. There's a huge groundswell of grassroots Muslim frustration with the governments that have been compliant with the West, and as we've said many times, have done very little for the Palestinians, for the Gazans, and Iran presents a difficult problem for many populations of the Arab nations surrounding Israel. There's many things here that are going to be really quite frustrating and just unedifying to see. We're all going to have to tolerate a really smug, potentially coquettish statement from Benjamin Netanyahu, talking about his brothers, talking about the strong relationship, talking about how Donald Trump's done the right thing. Donald Trump is definitely going to want to walk away from this, claiming and suggesting that just hitting the sites once, it's a very targeted process. There are going to be no troops on the ground. But of course, the response that Iran has promised after any American actions such as this, Iran have said, and I hate to say this, guys, this is a tricky thing to say. What does a good question, Epsington? Not sure what Iran does from here. The nuclear sites that have been bombed aren't the places from which Iran are firing all of their missiles. Iran have said if America gets directly involved, they will hit all American bases in the region, in Iraq, in Jordan, in Egypt, possibly Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, they were all kind of calling out on behalf of Iran. So we have a curious situation here where Iran could well attack and hit the American bases. If that happens, we could have, I'm just trying to work out, trying to extrapolate from this what could then happen. Whilst the governments of these countries, Egypt, Jordan, etc., are towing the party line and are essentially the whipping boys of Donald Trump and the American empire, if you like, because they're all sort of dependent on the money. But the grassroots, the everyday population and the opposition groups and those who are frustrated with the kind of governments of the other Arab nations, they could well kick off big time. Judy, 1968. Yep, Trump has just signed a death warrant for our troops out there. He gives no Fs about them, though, which I suppose the reason there are so many ships, aircraft carriers down there, etc., is that maybe they have plans to intercept absolutely everything that Iran fires at their bases. Don't forget the bases, the American bases themselves, aren't privy to the protection of the Iron Dome that Israel is privy to. I can see that for many of you, you've been invested in this evolving story over the weeks or over the last 10 days. Let's not beat around the bush. It was 7 days, Friday, 8 days. This is the 9th day we're going into. And, not just we called it. I just felt, we felt it was going to happen at the weekend. There's the other potential benefit that the stock markets won't gyrate and go extraordinarily insane. Oh wow! Look, Bilal Moyad. Sorry, I can't. So bleary-eyed. Bilal Moyad. Goodbye, the civilization that we built in 120 years, thanks to the stupidity of our leaders, bigots, and supremacists. We are done. Bilal, could you just clarify? Are you talking from a Iranian perspective? I've just got. I think we've got some live footage. I'll try and record it and then pull it in for you. Very successful. Yeah, no, I don't know whether the footage that we're seeing on Sky News is live or not. Let's see if the Guardian has picked the story up yet. It doesn't look like the Guardian has. The Guardian is falling behind. What's all this? Come on, news. US report. No, oh, dearie me. Let's go to the Middle East. Here we go. Trump says, breaking news. Hello and welcome. Donald Trump has announced that the US has bombed nuclear sites in Iran. I mean, really, that's the news for now. What everyone is waiting for is whatever response. Okay, well, I'm going to ask you now, given that this is very different to, Sky News, the BBC News. They clearly haven't got any more information than us. They have got footage of Donald Trump getting on and off planes. How does it make you feel? The Pink Ranger, Dottie Woozle, wasn't Lammy in Washington the other day? He was probably there to pledge our support. Well, presumably this means Starmer has given permission for the Americans to use their bombers from Diego Garcia, right? Assi, the normal people of this world just want peace. Betsy, Truth Social has just gone down. Let's have a look. Let's see if it has just gone down. No, I can still see it there. 3,700 replies. Mel, so scary that Pete Hegseth is also their defense secretary. Is World War III looming? And these are the incompetent idiots in charge. I mean, the likes of Putin and China have said this isn't a good thing to do. Anne-Marie, this man has no concern for anyone but his ego. He's deranged and dangerous. I hope the UK tells him he's made his bed. No, I think the UK has basically said to him, come and squeeze us. We're wearing our gimp suit. We'd love you to have a go. I'm just trying to see. I mean, Al Jazeera is 24 minutes behind saying Trump, only time will tell whether the US will strike. This just isn't good, is it? Let's have a look at the Telegraph's coverage. And they still haven't updated their front there. Going down. No, they still haven't updated it. Their last story is still Trump arriving at the White House for security meeting. I think we're going to hear a statement quite quickly. Someone from Iran, whether it be the supreme leader, as I understand it, the supreme leader, the Ayatollah, has no electric device with him because, of course, attempts have been already. They've been attempting to kind of basically kill him, and he's also got a crack squad surrounding him, trying to kind of keep him safe in a bunker. CNN have a reporter in Iran. Alison Barber, you're absolutely right. We knew he was going to do it, but bloody hell, and we kind of just knew he was going to do it this weekend. I think, you know, do you think the UK is safe now after what? Well, this is the problem, isn't it? This is the problem with the war on terror, and this is the problem with every single event in which we in the West seek some form of regime change or we interfere in Middle Eastern politics, is that we're then surprised that some kind of anti-British sentiment or anti-Western sentiment rocks up on our shores and commits an act of terror or something like that. Again, no act of terror is right, but we shouldn't be surprised. This is the danger. This is the danger that one's engaging with. I'm just pulling up Sky News. It's just landed. One is engaging with the prospect of encouraging an increase. I do think this absolutely makes every Western country a target for, you know, terrorist cells, for organizations that want to wreak some kind of revenge. I don't think that will be organized anytime soon. I think the immediate thing, as Judy rightly says, the immediate people at risk right now are all of the American troops and British troops, because Britain had to give permission for these flights to take off in the region. And everyone is going to be looking at how the Arab nations surrounding Iran, surrounding Israel, will respond. I mean, let's just pause for a second. And when I say marvel, I don't use that word marvel in the way that we often use it, which is one of, wow, we're marveling at this out of respect and awe. We're awestruck with kind of admiration. Let's marvel at the Iago, Machiavellian, manipulative, global politic rigging that Benjamin Netanyahu has conducted to get this to happen. Because what are we all going to be talking about, understandably, for the next however long? And not Gaza. Fordo is gone, says Leslie Ann Mallon. You know, this isn't about whether they successfully take out nuclear sites or not. And I have to keep pausing on this. Let's take ourselves back. The Sun, breaking news. Let's take ourselves back to when Russia rolled tanks onto the nuclear site in Ukraine, and there was do you remember there was a little bit of fire somewhere, and everyone went into a complete kind of tailspin, understandably and rightly so. Well, we've just dropped bunker buster bombs on 3 independent, different nuclear sites. The payload sounds horrendous and heavy. The consequences could be that these bombs, even if they're not tactical nuclear bombs that they've used, these bombs will create massive nuclear dirty bomb disasters. So, I mean, I would also say that in the Middle East, we will have no way now of knowing the extent to which the rest of the Arab world, or certainly countries surrounding Iran, will be infected by or polluted by all of the radiation that billows from these 3, as Bad Art Tangent says, just think, 3 Chernobyl incidents at the same time. That presupposes that we're dealing with nuclear material on a scale anywhere near Chernobyl. I don't think we are. But what the Americans have done in one fell swoop has made sure that however small Iran's nuclear capabilities were, they've ensured that they've become big enough now to create a problem. Do you see me? This is the weird thing. So imagine you've got like rows. Look, imagine we've got loads of kind of, little test tubes of uranium there that we're going to use for something. And they're all in test tubes, but there's nowhere near enough there to create a nuclear explosion. But a bunker bomb comes down, shatters that everywhere. It's become a dirty bomb, hasn't it? Just checking that Donald Trump hasn't posted something else. No, 18 minutes ago. For those of you who've just joined, I'm just going to read you again Donald Trump's Truth Social. We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I'm just going to go. Oh, Donald J. Trump's just posted again. Just bear with me. Oh, I think he might have deleted it. No, Donald Trump's just posted 1 minute ago. Let me screenshot it, take it in for you, and read it to you so you can get it straight from the horse's mouth. Bear with me 1 sec. Just getting this in. This is a second Truth Social post. You can hear the bleep of it landing. Bear with me. I am giving, he says, I will be giving an address to the nation at 10 p.m. at the White House. Can anyone give us the time in Washington right now? What is the time in Washington, D.C.? Washington, D.C. time. 8:15. So in an hour and 3/4, Donald Trump will be giving an address to the nation at 10 p.m. regarding our very successful military operation in Iran. This is an historic moment for the United States of America, Israel, and the world. Iran must now agree to end this war. Thank you. Oh my God. Okay, so, just parking the, let's just report and talk about what's happening. Iran must stop this war. Iran must agree to end this war. Who started this war? Who started this war? I mean, the fact that they have managed to, in their own heads, contort and pervert and distort the narrative into this, it just speaks to and it tells you exactly how the Israeli propaganda machine has managed to completely obscure the narrative build-up to an event like October the 7th. Look at the way in which they're just manipulating and managing. Didn't hear, it's not to be heard, it's not the case, it's not the case. Iran stopped the war. So they've thrown the gauntlet down. They've blown up their nuclear reactors, despite Iran saying, if you get involved, we will have to exert our right for self-defense and strike back. What do we think? And what do you think? Yeah, gaslighting, an extraordinary. And oh my God, the smug toddler faces of the Israeli government as they all sit there chattering away, kind of going, ha, see, our American parents, they can look after us now. We're running out of the Iron Dome, but America can come and bomb everyone. They can't even do their own job. Israel can't even finish the job that they've started in the playground. Betsy by the Sea, could they have had some intel? Yeah, they could have had some intel on Iran. They absolutely could have intelligence that suggests that the Iranian system is creaking at the edges, which I'm sure it is, that their defense systems are fucked, that their weapon systems are compromised. I mean, I'm sure that all these things are true. It doesn't make it right to go in and do this and then retrofit. This is the part of it that I can't abide, is the way in which America and Israel, supported by Starmer and the Western governments, are retrofitting and retro-defining this conflict as having been started by anyone other than Israel. I mean, interestingly, you know, America's come in and bombed these sites prior to Iran in any way, shape, or form attacking an American base. That hasn't happened first. I mean, I'm sure most rational historians, politicians, people in countries around the world will look at this and go, hang on a minute. Talk about provoking and preemptively punching and whacking and knocking. This is a total retread and repeat of the farcical, spurious, proven to be a complete pack of lies, dossier surrounding the weapons of mass destruction. Tony Blair and George W. Bush sat in the White House cooking up the documents, cooking up a lie to justify going into Iraq and pulling the country apart. And the same thing has happened here. And isn't it interesting? Like the Israelis have completely flattened Gaza to such an extent that it will be impossible for anyone to go in there for years to come to actually verify and analyze and, you know, neutrally observe all of the atrocities that have been done. Now that these sites have been blown up, it's anyone's guess what was in them. There's going to be no way for anyone internationally to go into these sites and go, oh, well, actually, no, they weren't creating a nuclear bomb. The UK Pikachu crossing have to have already got involved for these stealth bombers to have done their job. CNN has a general on, says Judy, saying he's impressed by this strike. Good Lord. What? He's impressed that they managed to drop a bomb and it managed to hit its target. Isn't that what they do? It's a bit like being impressed that a footballer scores a goal. It's what you're paid the big bucks to do. Is it impressive? I don't know if it is. Do you think Iran will nuclear bomb us? Pikachu crossing? No, I don't think. I don't think Iran had the capabilities to nuke a lamb or to nuke a donkey. If I'm honest, I mean, this amplification of their capabilities is quite shocking. What we all need to wait for right now is the response of Iran and the response of the Russians and the response of the Chinese. That's what we need to wait for. That's what we need to keep our ear to the ground over, and that's what we need to pay attention to. It's now 1:20. I'm going to have to go to bed because I only got 3.5 hours sleep last night. And Nadia was like, oh my God, what's just happened? Judy, it's absolutely why we don't watch. So I'm going to be obviously going to sleep with one ear in, one ear out. Keep your eyes and ears peeled to listen to Donald Trump rambling on about the warriors that did something impressive. It's not that impressive when you've got a great big flash jet and a great big giant bomb and you're just flying over and you're just dropping them. It's not that impressive, if I'm honest. So, you know, and I don't think it's very impressive to have potentially caused 3, as someone said here, we don't know, but potentially to have caused 3 Chernobyls. I mean, really, is that impressive? Are we? Oh, what? I mean, if you are impressed by that, then I just don't want to have to. I don't want to have to engage with you. I don't want to be living in the same society as you. I don't recognize you as part of my community. If you see this as impressive, I don't recognize you as a rational, humanitarian individual with a heart. Guys, sorry it's such bad news. And I just had a feeling in my bones. I was talking to a friend of ours today, Sarah. I just had a feeling in my bones. I just thought it's going to happen. And it's happened. It's happened. I mean, I suppose the one thing as we hit the half-hour chat, the one thing to come out of this that is perhaps a relief is that America haven't used a tactical nuke. But then when you're dropping a giant bomb on a nuclear site, you don't really need a tactical nuke, do you? Anyway, guys, try and sleep well. God only knows what this will bring. God only knows what this will lead to tomorrow.